If they do a rifle push, you're going to have to rush the hell out of bears. You still need to get 2 Dryads and abolish, or water monsters are going to run over you, but you still need to rush to bears. If they're doing a caster reliant push, where you see them go dual sanctum, you can mass Dryads. One of the things humans can do is they will get like 6-7 foots, get defend, and then dual sanctum, and they'll push you with like some slow and some priests, and really all you can do is right click the hero because you can't kill the footman. Well, you can go for the casters as well, but like if they're doing a tower push where they're like, okay, I have my 2 heroes, I have a heal potion on each, I have a priest and a sork and 6 footmen, and Ivory Tower's going down, you've got to say, okay, well, I cannot kill your footmen. They're doing a lot of damage to my heroes, but I can't kill your footmen because they've got defend on. I can go for your heroes, I can go for your casters, I can go for your towers, I can't go for your footmen. Okay, fine, it's not a big problem, but, you know, you've got to say, I have to mass Dryads, because they're massing on casters. If you start getting adept bears, all they're going to do, slow the bear, focus it with footmen, you staff it, it sits in the back of your base till master training. If you wait that long, the towers are up. So if they're doing a caster defend push, you have to go Dryads. It seems ironic that you're getting Dryads versus defend footmen, but you're getting them for the casters. You know, you have to choose what you're countering, because there's no solve all unit with defend in the game. There isn't one. So, you know, you've got to pick and choose. You've got to sort of read what he's doing, and luckily for you, they both involve getting 2 Dryads and dual lore, but you have to realize what he's doing before you say, quick tier 3, go bears, go more Dryads, what am I doing? You've got to choose one of them, and you've got to scout for it. So there you go, elves. Scout for the blacksmith. Are they going mortars or are they going rifles? If they're going mortars, you can still mass Dryads. If they're going rifles, you've got to rush bears. If they somehow put together a very eloquent rifles plus caster push, you've got to choose your targets very carefully. You've generally got to get rid of the rifles really, really fast, because the rifles aren't doing great damage to your heroes because they're doing piercing damage, but they can do pretty good damage to Dryads. Even if you've only got like 3 or 4, it's still a lot of damage up because you've got a damage type, and Dryads have no innate armor, and they have low HP. And they're still 3 food, like it or not, so they actually die pretty quick, you know, as a unit goes, as a unit of their size, food cost, whatever goes, they can die pretty quick. So what you're trying to do here is you have to read the strategy, and you've got to do the appropriate counter. I know I'm sort of going over the same points again, but again, a rifle push, rush bears, focus the hero down so they don't tower you right away. It kind of sucks for your Dryads, but you can do it because they don't have caster support. If they're doing dual caster, mass Dryads, focus the casters and the heroes. Might as well kill the casters, because you're going to have to go bears eventually, because you're not going to kill the defend footman without it, without bears, but you can delay it a little bit. I mean, you need the Dryads, and if they're doing a mixed push, they're not going to have really strong they're not going to have a really strong aspect of either. Now, rifles do the same damage to bears that sorks do. They're doing about the same damage. They just don't cast slow, but they deal damage to Dryads. So you've got to say, okay, well, it's just the same as a dual. It's just the same as a dual Rex caster. If I try to rush bears, so I've got to go Dryads, but I've got to make it count. I've got to play it really well. And now I know it's hard for human to get the exact right unit combination of getting the blacksmith up, getting enough farms, getting a healing potion, getting all this crap. And chances are one thing's going to be low. Either they're not going to have enough rifles, they're not going to have enough casters, they're not going to have enough healing potions. Probably one thing's going to fail. For example, a human can't, or an elf can't get Hunter's Hall, 4 Moonwells, you know, and boots and like a staff. They've got to forget like 2 of them. Either you've got only 3 Moonwells, or you've got a late Hunter's Hall, or you don't have a shop right away, or you don't have boots. You know, human similar has to choose one to let go of. You've got to read what it is. If they don't have potions in the heroes, you can go rape the heroes. If they don't have enough rifles, you can go kill the rifles and the casters real quick. If they only have 2 rifles, you're going to be fine. If they don't have enough casters, then you can still do the... I mean, if they don't have enough casters, you can probably go for the what happened this game, where you have the two Dryads, you rush bears, and you kill the heroes. Because the casters are what's going to help keep your heroes alive, because they're such, you know, juicy targets, and because priest heal and slow keeps your DH from raping the archmage. So there you go. So I've decided that this is only going to be a 1 audio series, or not a 1 audio series, but just a 1 game audio. But letting you know how to play a typical map like Meadows, or a typical non-tavern map like Meadows, where they can push you and whatnot. Next we're going to go over something like Echo Wilds and Terran Stand, where you have to go tavern and they can expand. Just so you know, Meadows plays very similar to Turtle Rock, unless you want to play it like a tavern map, in which case it'll play a lot like Terran Stand, but slightly less unbalanced. I'm not going to go over LT because it's just too specialized and I don't know the map well enough. Lastly, just the point to sum up, read the strategy. I went over the counters, listen to it again if you don't remember them. You've got to play it right. Human push is in the driver's seat. I mean, because rifles can hit everything, casters can hit almost everything, you've got to make sure you do the right unit combination. They could say, oh, but elves in the driver's seat, they can mass dryads, and so I have to mass rifles. Okay, but humans want attacking, you know? Like, you choose really the unit mix you want, and they have to make sure they get the right one in defense because you're the one attacking. You know, if they're really massing dryads, you should see that after a certain point. I mean, like, dryads only start at tier 2. All elves are starting the same. They're all getting that 5 archers. You know, and then they have to choose what am I doing. You know, you have rifles beforehand, you can power build sanctums beforehand, you can do all this stuff beforehand. That's why I think humans driving this matchup. I'm not saying it's imba, but I'm saying, you know, humans, you're in the driver's seat here. Choose the right strategy, make it work, counter correctly, and you're okay. And elves, just listen to the advice, get the right units, you can survive the push, and then go ahead and dominate mid to late game. I'll go over the other maps in the next audios, just kind of letting you know. I think this is it. Thank you for listening. Please leave me comments. Goodbye.